Hello, today I'm going to talk about my week, what I did. I'm Johnny Massacre, rapper, music producer and DJ living in Tokyo, Japan, and welcome to my channel. So, Sunday in Tokyo. What's happening? Well, it is my birthday tomorrow. My girlfriend she's planned something. She loves to surprise me, but I don't like surprises. So, I told her this year, I don't want to see anyone. I just want to see you. I don't want to have to go somewhere. It's like, oh, hi. I'm kind of a bit antisocial when it comes to birthdays. I just want to do exactly what I want to do, which is usually do something weird in Tokyo. I'm just going to shut the fucking door. Yeah, I mean, my idea of a good birthday is like doing the weirdest shit possible. Like go to an arcade in Japan with like old school games and like play a few games, and then there has to be some eating involved. There has to be some kind of fucking steak or some juicy ass meat, and there has to be a little bit of drinking. But when I was younger, I used to of course I got on it. But these days it's like I'm not really too keen on drinking. See, I'm supposed to see my girlfriend tomorrow on Monday, but I thought, okay, on Saturday I'll go out with my mates and get fucked up. But come Saturday, it's like, do you know what? No. Like, why would I want to get fucking drunk? You know, I'm trying to be a music producer and a rapper. How is that going to fucking help me? Okay, it could break things up a little bit, but there's better ways to break it up. I could study some Japanese or like learn the fucking piano while I'm just going to go get drunk with people like killing their brain cells. I'm past that shit, man. So yeah, the birthday is happening. I might have like a cheeky whiskey tonight. So, keeping in line with the birthday, my dad sent me a present, and as soon as it arrived in his box, I knew what it was, because he asked me, have you got it yet? And I didn't think at the time, but this fucking book, Jordan B Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. If you don't know who Jordan B Peterson is, basically, he's a clinical psychologist who exploded into popularity recently with a viral interview on the British television channel, Channel 4, with a woman called Cathy Newman, who's a spaghetti-haired feminist man-hater. And she tried to character assassinate this guy who has been lumped in with the alt-right purely because he doesn't have politically correct views and refuses to call people by their pronouns, which is where he first became popular on YouTube, where he was attacked by a group of coloured-haired, ugly, gender non-binary people who were looking to exploit him and shame him just to push their agenda and silence people. And so she tried to frame him as this kind of prejudiced, woman-hating, whatever, but actually the interview backfired spectacularly, and she only succeeded in exposing herself as just a man-hating, miserable person and bringing shame upon the current image of the left in the media and promoting the fuck out of Jordan B Peterson's new book, which is why he did the interview, because he wanted to promote it. So that's who Jordan B Peterson is. If you already knew who he is, you've probably switched off now, so I'm not speaking to you anymore, because you don't want a recap of everything you already know. But listen, for the people that are still watching, and for the sake of my ADD, this book, I haven't even got onto what Jordan's saying yet. I'm just reading the foreword, and the foreword is like, some parts of it gave me goosebumps. It's talking about who Jordan B Peterson is, and in the process it talks a little bit about politics and ideologues, and it says an ideology, and it says ideology, I can't remember exactly, it's like a set of rules and beliefs that are in the place of facts and science, that seek to explain things in one broad stroke, very simply. For example, science tells us that there are only two genders, male and female, and without that as a benchmark, you wouldn't have any, doctors or hospitals or anything at all, because, men and women suffer different ailments and have different bodies and have different treatments, right? But then there's some ideology recently where, oh no, gender's a social construct, and that's it, because that's what I feel, with no explanation at all, or basically no hard evidence, and that's ideology. And So to kind of hear things like that I've always wondered about explained so well in the foreword, it was really nice. And the foreword's by a guy called Dr. Norman Doidge. Doidge, MD, is the author of The Brain That Changes Itself. So whoever the fuck this guy is, he's Jordan B Peterson's mate, and he's a really fucking good writer. So I'm gonna have to check that out. So thanks, Dad. I actually opened this up early. I can't remember, but I think I asked him, is it right to open it early? And he was like, no, you can't. And I thought, that's nice. You know, my dad's he's not the typical emotional type. And I thought he'd be all blasé, like, what the fuck, just open it if you want. But he's like, no. So in some ways, you know, tradition is good. I quite like that. But I did open it early. So Dad, if you're watching this, sorry, but yeah. So what else happened? So the last 3 days, I've kind of been in a state of inertia. I didn't really do exercise for 2 days. And I try to exercise every day. I usually do at least 5 days a week, usually 6. And it's weird because, you know, when you feel inertia and you don't want to fucking do anything, you kind of feel like you're avoiding something that's going to be negative. But actually, nothing but positivity comes from exercise. I felt like trash today and haven't been feeling the best for the last few days. I'm just an emotional person. And I went to the gym, and then I was kind of like having some negative thoughts on the way there and a few automatic negative thoughts when I was there. But gradually, the more I started to exercise, it got to a point where I was like, this is fucking good. And it's like a switch, it's like click. After about an hour and a half of exercise, I was like, I closed my eyes. I can't even remember what I was thinking of. It doesn't matter because it's almost like meditating. There was nothing really specific that I was thinking about. I was just focusing on being and just lying there after killing myself in the gym. And I opened my eyes and I was surprised. I kind of forgot where I was, and that's when I knew I'd sorted myself out. So the moral of the story is, you know, I'm not saying if you're having a really shitty time, exercise will fix you, because it won't. You're going to need more. But if you're in a reasonably good place and you're just feeling a bit down, do some fucking exercise. Do some hard exercise, and I promise you, you will feel better. I can tell you how much fucking calories I burn right now. So here we go. I skated to the gym, 315 calories. I did a mixed cardio, 166, boxing, 175, other mixed cardio, including weightlifting, 359, skating back, 535. Basically, 4 hours, 37 minutes of exercise. It's about 4 hours because it's been running for a little while since I came back. 1,500 calories, 2,000 calories overall. So it's probably about 1,600. And yeah, so fuck, I'm really glad I did that and got it out of the way. Sometimes it's not nice when you're doing it, but I always tell myself, when is the best time to do exercise? It's the time you least want to go. The time you least want to go and you're making the most excuses, that's when you should go, because afterwards you feel great. But I didn't do that yesterday or the day before. Other things, gab. So I'm sick of left-wing censorship of YouTube and demonetizing of conservative thinkers, because I love conservative thinkers, purely because the left is so insane. They just provide a nice respite from the fucking mentally ill insanity coming out of the left and the media at large, which is mostly left. So I went over to Gab, because I want to go somewhere where it's not censored. And mate, Gab is horrible. Gab is like a cesspit of racism. It really is. The left always is crying and talking about racism. They're obsessed with gender, they're obsessed with all that shit. And it's like, I don't give a fuck about gender. I don't give a fuck about race. I just give a fuck about myself and good people. And I'm fair to everyone. And okay, I'm going to go to Gab, no censorship. And because the left has censored conservatives so much, the right-wingers and the conservatives are starved of free speech. And so Gab is like a magnet for racism, because obviously racism can't survive in any way, shape or form on YouTube if people who aren't racist but are conservative are getting censored. So Gab is now, it's like those people can thrive on Gab. And I went there, and it's like, literally, like the first fucking thing I see, literally, is like Hitler's speech, and they played it with this really kind of moving music to try to influence you to get behind what he was saying, and it's basically saying Hitler's misunderstood. It's like, oh my fucking god. And then the next thing was some talk show, right-wing talk show. I just clicked on it because it had the most live views at the moment, which wasn't a lot, to be honest. Gab's not really doing that well, and you can fucking see why. And I went on there, and the guy was like this fucking bald, like fat American dude having a chat. And then like halfway through, he goes, yeah, call in for the show. It's like 1-800-NAZI. Go Nazi. Like, what? Why would you associate yourself with fucking Nazis? What's wrong with you fucking people? You're making normal conservatives look bad, you fucking assholes. And I want to point out, just because there's people like that on the right, doesn't mean that all people on the right are fucking Nazis. So it's all a fucking mess. And then the guy's like promoting Mein Kampf. He's like, I've got Hitler's book, which I actually started reading because I wanted to check it out. It's quite interesting in the beginning, but I couldn't really stick with it. It's a bit boring. And but he's like selling copies of Mein Kampf, not for, you know, just for out of historical interest, because the guy's a Nazi. It's like, what the actual fuck? So fucking hell, what do we have? What do people who are not liberals and don't want to buy into that all like, oh, I'm so offended, and censorship, like fuck censorship, it's all about being real. What are those kind of people, like real people? Where do we have to go to like consume media? There's nowhere. And I was thinking, I was reading about something about a decentralized social media platform, something like, you know, the blockchain and Bitcoin. I don't understand how it works, but I read a little bit, and it basically, to mine a Bitcoin, you have to make a blockchain or something. And that means loads, like you can't do it on your own. You need different people to come together to crack these codes. And only with collaborating with different people cracking these codes can you do the blockchain and then make a fucking, like some piece of evidence that creates a Bitcoin or something. And I guess we need some kind of technology that like that, which is like really anonymous. It's not controlled by anyone, basically, because, you know, the reason I explain how that's made is showing you it's basically controlled by the people. It's not controlled by some shadowy fucking authoritarian figure like a bank, basically. So we need some kind of platform like that. However, if there is a platform like that, there's going to be so much racism because right-wingers have been silenced, and that just makes the racists thrive on a decentralized platform because they're super silenced. What with the main platforms being so vigilant against any type of conservatism and also nationalism and racism. And nationalism and racism are two different things. So that's the problem. But then I made this comment on Twitter. Look, if a decentralized platform is censored with the same vigor that YouTube censors not only racists but conservative thinkers, then it should be fine. So that's what I'm really hungry for. And like, honestly, I just see myself as a person in the middle. I'm definitely not a right-winger because I'm all for abortion. If I knock up some poor hapless woman who's pretty hot for whatever reason, even if I use protection, but let's say something goes wrong, it breaks or whatever, I don't want to fucking have a baby. And I don't believe in God. Again, so that means I'm not really traditionally right-wing. And because I don't believe in God, I have no qualms about killing a fetus. I wouldn't do it myself, but it's just like meat off the shelf, isn't it? If you saw where the meat's actually coming from and had to get it yourself, you probably wouldn't need it. But the fact it's so readily available, you're just going to go with it. And because I don't believe in God, so I don't really believe in morals or virtue, and therefore, you know, if the baby's going to die in the womb, then so be it. And that's not right-wing at all. And it talks about that in Jordan B Peterson's book. He says people on the left is like my mentality now, which is like they believe morals and virtue is relative. Morals is basically the sense of what's good and what's evil. And virtue is what's right and what's wrong. And he said left-wingers believe those two things are relative. And relative means it varies per person what the definition of morals and virtue is. So this person thinks this is good and this is evil, and this person thinks, no, this is good and this is evil. And so what is right and what is wrong comes down to the individual. And I've kind of always believed that. And so I'm actually kind of left-wing in that respect. But I'm not about the group at all. I don't give a fuck about the group. I'm the biggest individual you'll ever meet. I'm not like anyone you're ever going to meet. I'm not saying that's a positive or a negative thing. I'm not tooting my own horn, blowing my own trumpet, mate. I'm just saying I am a fucking individual, and I don't follow rules or groups or anything like that. And that is what the left love. They love to break people down into male, female, gay, straight, white, black. Oh, like I don't give a fuck about that shit at all. So in that respect, I'm very right wing, and so, you know, this is all so interesting to me. I was thinking today, maybe like the next thing that's going to come out is talking about centralized stuff. It's like a centralized group where we're not right, we're not left, we're just in the middle. We're like the normal people who take a bit of both. Because look, let's be honest, there's good things on both sides, right? And I really hope that something like that comes through, because I'm not holding my breath, because people are tribal. They like to feel part of a group and part of a movement, and you're either right or you're left, and I'm neither. And I think, okay, it doesn't. There are a lot of people who I think aren't really up on that stuff. They're just not interested in it, and I think they're being more and more affected by it, because politics is now encroaching on people's lives who previously didn't know about it or weren't interested. And I'm hoping the people in the middle, who are kind of not extreme left or right, or don't lean too heavily one way or another, will kind of get together and make some kind of platform where it's kind of away from all that tribalism and more just in the middle, people who basically want to consume media that's not heavily politicised. You know, I'm rambling now, but I think you kind of get what I'm talking about. Next thing, Avengers. Saw the last Avengers trailer. I'm going to go see Avengers. I mean, it looks alright. I've never been a massive fan of the Avengers, but I'm going to do one of my rant videos. Some people who are watching probably know me from my Star Wars rant videos. The last one for The Last Jedi, 100,000 views. So I'm going to review Avengers the day it comes out. Chicken. I want to talk about chicken. I've been cooking chicken breasts a lot because I do a lot of weights in the gym. And I've never really fucked around with chicken thighs. I know there's more skin and more fat. So today I bought some chicken thighs. The oven's heating up. I'm about to throw that shit in the oven. And I'm super excited because I already managed to get some flavour out of my chicken breast after about 2 fucking years of trial and error. But the amount of skin on those fucking thighs, I'm like, baby, it's time to rock and roll. Racist shopkeeper. Do I really want to talk about more racism? So I went with my girlfriend to Harajuku because we're starting this kind of like business where we're going to like employ people to tour Harajuku and like take people around and get money for it. And I went into a shop and I was taking a picture of some machine, and the shopkeeper was like, walked away like that. I was like, holy crap, that never happens from Japanese people. Turns out she's Korean. They have a different culture over there. They don't hold back. Koreans will fucking say what they think, and if they're an asshole Korean, then you're gonna get a fucking smell of that asshole. So this woman was like, all funny, and I went up to her, I was like, what are you fucking doing? And she went fucking mad, and she's basically saying, you fucking cunt, like, you white cunt and shit. It's like, what? So I was like, do you hate foreigners? And I started recording it, and she's such a loose cannon that she basically, she couldn't help but say, yes, I hate foreigners. She said it, I had it on tape. And basically I was like, I'm going to fucking put this on YouTube, bitch. She's like, I'm calling the cops. I was like, call the fucking cops, because you know what? That's something I won't stand down to. If someone's going to be racist, you could walk away and save yourself some hassle, but you got to be a fucking man. If someone fucking disrespects you with racism, you fucking stand your ground. Seriously. It's like the most like egregious thing. It really is. One of the worst things. So the cops came and shit. And this is a fucking interesting thing, because recently Lauren Sutton, who's a kind of right-wing conservative thinker, media personality, who is actually quite provocative in what she does, but I'm not a fan of hers, but she's very brave. She does go to left-wing rallies with like Antifa and fucking piss them off and stuff and risk her health, so you know, that's some good journalism there. Anyway, she was banned from entering the UK recently because in the town of Luton, she was basically trolling Muslims, and she was handing out these things that said, Muhammad is gay. And yeah, you're kind of trolling, but it's free speech, right? Like if someone's handing out something that says God is gay, are they going to get banned from the UK? No. But it's so sensitive with Muslims right now because the left has like stoked it up so much, and there's like, you can't say anything, you can't criticize anything that's Muslim, that to say Muhammad is gay is considered a hate speech. So she was banned from entering the UK from doing that. And I think that's like fucking crazy, because like there's like returning ISIS fighters and shit going to Canada who've like gone and killed like us, basically, like the Westerners, and they're kind of allowed back. But if you sell something in Luton exercising your free speech, albeit trolling and being a dick, saying Muhammad is gay, which is a dickish thing to do, they're just winding people up, but it's not crime, or it wasn't, but they weren't let back in for that, right? So think about that in the UK. So in light of that, if a shopkeeper in the UK told a Muslim, I hate Muslims, I hate foreigners, they would be in serious fucking shit. Relatively, in Japan, this Korean woman said to me, I hate white people, I hate foreigners. And I showed the fucking cops with my phone. Do you know what Japanese cops said? It's a free country. If she wants to be racist, she's free to do it. And I was like, yeah, like I totally agree. I will die for her right to insult me and call me white piece of shit and piece of shit foreigner. Because without that right, then you will fucking, you know, fall to the fucking totalitarian socialist Nazis where everything's controlled. So, but isn't that funny? Because I thought, yeah, that's right. She can call me a piece of white shit. And you can't have free speech without hearing something you're not going to like. The alternative is not having free speech and fucking being policed by the people you'd least want to fucking control your speech, which is the government. You can see where that's going to go. It's going to be fucking like genocide in the end, basically. And so that basically happened, and I just found that really interesting. And that, you know, if that happened in England, some people would like whine and cry about it and play the victim, or like, you should go to jail, or like whatever. But it confirmed for me more than ever the importance of free speech. And you don't hear me whining about it and crying about it. It hurt, which is why I'm talking about it. But yeah, you know, this is life, and we should be free to say what we want. And when people do, if you don't like it, you can challenge them like I did. And the cops did a good job in that case. It's getting so political. Cherry blossom. In Japan, cherry blossom is a huge thing. It is the most popular time for tourists. It's absolutely fucking beautiful, and cherry blossom is coming. It is now the 18th of March, and cherry blossom is out, and that is super fucking rare. That's the earliest I've ever seen cherry blossom come out in Japan. It usually only comes out the end of March. If it's raining, or especially if it's cold, it comes in the beginning of April 2nd or 3rd, and I've never seen it this early because it was warm a few days ago. I think maybe some kind of tropical storm just off the coast of Japan, a little bit further away. So we're getting some kind of warm front from some fucking somewhere. And so that was really interesting to see that. So all the fucking tourists who booked their tickets in the beginning of April, you're going to miss out. Because it's going to fall down. And finally, tunes. Yeah, I've been making tunes. I've got 2 tunes on the go. One of them, like, people love it. If I put it on Instagram, everyone who hears it is like, oh, that's good, and I wasn't really feeling it, and they were saying it's good when it was in an unfinished state, and I thought it was a bit messy, so I worked on that. That's sounding pretty shit hot. Got 2 hip hop tracks coming. Thing is, it's like the vocals, man, it's like getting the vocals down. Sometimes the rap vocals are so hard to process, other times the chorus vocals are so hard to process, and you know, if you don't make music, you're not really going to know what I'm talking about, but just believe me, putting your voice in a song can be a real fucking cunt. If you liked this kind of vlog, whatever you want to call it, my week in review, please like and subscribe, and yeah, you're going to get a lot more of it. I am Johnny Massacre, and thanks for watching.